Okay, so what we have here is Pat makes borscht. So you have fresh beets, you have sliced onion, chicken thigh, jasmine rice because I didn't have potatoes to eat it with, and it's amazing. It's just stuff that I invented, and I will explain the recipe in a little bit. Okay, we're recording. This is incredible. I haven't had borscht in a long time, and it makes me sad because it's awesome. I got the beets perfectly. They're only partially boiled, so they're soft, but there's still a little substance there. They're not all mush. Okay, so you need a pan with 2 quarts of water. You need salt, pepper. I used rosemary from the yard and what I think was thyme. It was dried, so I didn't have it clearly labeled. You put those in the pan, you bring it up to about a high simmer. You get 2 onions, medium large, so, you know, tennis ball or larger. Clean them up, cut them in half, and then slice them nice and thin. Drop them into the water. Put a little butter in there. I used about 1/4 of a stick. And let it cook until the onions are partially cooked. Once that's done, take them all out, put them in a bowl, put some water in the bowl so that they don't get all stringy. Then you put the chicken in, you put it down lower than a boil, but like a high simmer, and you cook it until the chicken's cooked through. Flip it around a couple times. I used 2 chicken thighs. You could use any piece of chicken you want. And that gets the good flavor of the chicken into the broth. Take the chicken out, put it in another pan, put water on top of that so the chicken doesn't become hard and stringy either. Let it cook down a little bit and reduce. I had intended to use chicken stock, but I didn't have any. You're supposed to use bay leaves, but by crazy coincidence, I didn't get any at the house. So I wasn't going to walk back to the house and get them. Anyway, so you've got your broth, you've got your stock, your onions are cooked. You take the beets, which hopefully you have already cut, cleaned up, and skinned, and then I just cut them into 8ths. I used 4 beets. It's probably like 2 pounds of beets. You could use more. And then put them in the pan, partially boil them. It's going to look absolutely horrible red to like a vermilion weird shade. Don't worry about it if you're new at this. The important thing is to make sure that they are not fully cooked when you check on them. Take them out before they're fully cooked. Set them in a pan, probably with the onions at this point. Just make sure that they're moist so they don't get dry. Now, take a quart of real sour cream, not the imitation fat-free garbage that people try to get you to use. It's not food if it doesn't have fat. Take a quart of that and spoon it into the broth. Mix it up good, use your slotted spoon or whatever, a whisk. And then once it's properly disseminated, put all of the ingredients back in the pot, turn the heat off, and just let it sit, and then go cook your rice. And when you're done, this is what you have, and this is amazing. I splurged on beets because I wanted really nice beets from the farmer's market. But this meal shouldn't cost you hardly any money. It should be really cheap. And it should only take you about 30-40 minutes, mostly of neglect. And it turns out fine. This is a great meal for beginners.